Thank you so much for your love through your likes and comments in my previous video on how to renew your US visa without any interview. This video relevant for people who are looking to crack their US visa interview. And I will be giving tips basis my experience and experiences interacting with fellow travelers who also gone through a US visa interview procedure. You will find this video particularly useful in your preparation towards cracking the interview. You have set your appointment and you're wondering that which are the questions that can be asked. Try and put yourself in the shoes of the visa officer. The visa officer is looking at two things. You have strong roots within your own country and you will come back. The second thing that they're looking at is that the visa should be used for the same purpose for which it is being issued. For example, if you're going, let's say if you're saying that you're going for tourism and applied for a US B1, B2 visa, it should not be used for staying there to establish your business. The tips that you should consider for cracking your US visa interview. One is that be well dressed. Now, when I went for my US visa interview, I was working for a big four consulting firm and I was wearing a suit because I had a meeting in the second half of the day. And but yes, I was sharply dressed, well groomed. So that creates a very good impression with the visa officer. Number two is be confident. The visa officer is just another human being doing his job. So just be confident. And number three is try and be honest. If there's anything that you've written in your application which is not true, the visa officers, they have their ways because they have so much of experience. They are, interviewing candidates on a daily basis. So don't try and bluff your way into the interview. Try and be honest in terms of what purpose have you applied your visa for. During your interview, certain documents that you should carry to support some of the statements that you made in DS 160 or for the purpose for which you applied your visa. So I'll give you an example. If let's say you're working for a firm and you have applied for a leave, you can get a certificate from your HR saying that, your leave is sanctioned for so and so date. You're looking to travel to the US for a holiday. If required, you can show that letter to the visa office saying that my leave is approved and I've applied for your US B1, B2 visa and I'm looking to travel in those dates to that particular destination. So I think these supporting documents just help your case in cracking that interview. Another tip for people who are self-employed, income tax returns or maybe FDs of banks, statements of FDs with banks, that will also help your case. I had my own startup and I had applied. I had shown the bank statements of my startup for the last 2 years. I had given my website of the venture that I was running at that time. I had shared my visiting card. So that helps your case that, you have enough reasons to come back. Or whatever information that you shared in DS 160 form, that should be consistent with what you're sharing in your interview. If you've given the reference of any relative in the US in your application, you might be asked this question that, are you going to be visiting that relative? Are you going to be staying with that relative? Usually people give a reference if you're visiting that relative and the relative has been staying there for years. It's a bit of a red flag for the visa officer because there is a possibility because you already have a base in the US, you might just go and you might not come back. I think the best thing to do is, if you are asked the question that, are you going to be staying with your relative or a friend, you can say that, yes, I do know somebody in the US, but I will not be visiting that person. That person might join me for that holiday. For example, if you've applied for a B1, B2 visa and you're going there for a tourism purpose, you can say that I might not be staying my relative or my friend, but my friend might just join me for a holiday basis the itinerary that you've given in your travel plan when you apply for the visa. So US gives you that flexibility. Unlike Shenzhen, when you're supposed to book your flights and hotels, you're just supposed to give an indicative itinerary, and that indicative itinerary, you can just mention that I do have friends and relatives in the US, but I don't intend to visit them. They might just join me between this itinerary. Now, the mistakes that you should avoid during your interview, just share whatever information is relevant. Don't share extra information which is not required or which might just spoil your case. For example, if they ask you that, okay, do you have any relative? You don't have to share that how long they've been staying or what are your ties with them. Just be precise and to the point in terms of what is being asked by the visa officer. So be careful on that. The second point to consider is that don't make statements which, like I covered earlier, that the visa officer is trying to ascertain whether you have enough reasons to come back to your home country. So don't try and share any information that would make them to believe that you might not come back to your home country and you applied your visa for a particular reason and you're going there for a different purpose. So don't make any extra statements or share any information that might lead them to conclusions. Just be careful on that. I hope this video was helpful and these tips will help you crack your interview. If you like this video or you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. And one last note is, if you're wondering that what is this location and what is this background noise, I have not used a mic in this video. It's an unfiltered video and it's a beautiful location. I'm currently in Uttarakhand and I'm shooting this video from. More on this location and a series on Uttarakhand coming up in the next couple of months. Before that, a heads up that there is a series on Goa. December, I have booked an Airbnb for a month in Goa. So that series on Goa coming up soon. So stay tuned and keep smiling.